Happy New Month, the 1st of July, which officially means that 6 months have passed of the calendar year. So I wanted to do like a little review of what has been going on in my art career, studio practice. So this will be like a little look back at goals that I've achieved, things that I'm moving forwards to, just to see and compare where we're at again in 6 months' time when it's going to be winter solstice. So first, I would like to start off by going over chronologically through the exhibitions that I've gotten to participate in the last 6 months with my work. So first of all, we have in January the Blackout collection with Nua Collective at Ben Space Project Room at the Estonian Academy of Arts in Tallinn. So thankfully, our artistic creative director, Eamon B. Shanahan, was able to be there for the whole duration of the show. Then we followed up with the Blackout collection from the Nua Collective to Wexford Arts Centre in Wexford Town in Ireland. And that was from February to March. March as well, we had extended edition of Blackout at Platform Arts in Belfast, Northern Ireland. And then later on in the year, from April until June actually, we had the Blackout collection at Eli Center of Contemporary Art in New Haven, America. Then I was fortunate enough to be chosen as one of the participating artists at Art Salon Revival at Massa Studio in Riga, and that took place for an entirety of 2 months from the end of March until the end of May. And thanks to that opportunity at Massa Studio, actually the curator of the gallery, Ksenia Afanasieva, proposed to have some of my works exhibited at another location in Riga. So hopefully that will follow through soon enough, coming closer to autumn. Then we end on a high note because I actually was fortunate enough to be one of the participants for the Riga Performance Art Festival, Startelpa, this year, which happened in like 4 different locations, including the Riga Circus, the ISSB Photography Center / Gallery, and then there was another location, and Museum, which is where my piece took place on Thursday the 30th of May. And thanks to my piece being included in this festival, I have been given an offer to present the work in a new iteration at the neighborhood celebrations in Nordiki Park, which is in Riga, part of Riga's Summer of Courage and Joy. And that, excitingly enough, is happening on Saturday, the 24th of August from 2 to 3 p.m. So everybody can mark their calendars now, and I really hope to see you there. I am going to begin on working on this new iteration of the work in a slightly new format relatively soon. And thankfully, I again have the workspace to do that in Riga, like in the very city center. So I'm very lucky. I feel blessed by the art gods. Then I also want to talk to you about this little calendar that I have on my desk, which is a gift from my mom. But it has been very handy in being like one place where I write down the deadlines for all these opportunities that I find online. I used to do it more digitally, but then sometimes you'd forget more. So just having this on my work desk to look at, and it has the whole breakdown of the full month, and then I see, okay, this submission date is coming up. So as now it's July, I have more submission dates coming up. I wanted to look through this and basically determine how successful I've been in all the applications throughout the last 6 months. Starting off with January, I completed an application that was due on the 31st of January, it was a Wednesday. And this one was for the Culture and Animals Compassion Fund appeal. Now, unfortunately, my submission was not accepted to be funded, which was a plan for a large-scale exhibition that would be the first, and it will be the first of its kind in Latvia, all featuring work that's to do with liberation, compassion, ethics, and animal rights. Fortunately enough, what came through doing this application is that I needed, as part of the application form, to submit like a place where the exhibition would happen. And I had no ideas for where it could be, so I kind of thought, well, in my city, in Jelgava, we have Diedarta Elias History and Art Museum. So I just emailed them really quick being like, hey, like, what's your waiting time to have a show? Like, are there any spots for maybe end of this year or early next year? And I got an email back saying that they would like to know more information about me and the planned work that I would like to exhibit, and that they're fully booked until 2026, but they would be happy to have a conversation with me about possibly having a show then. So I went in then to have a meeting with them, and thankfully they gave me a spot in like late summer of 2026, which is a huge deal for me. It's going to be my second solo show, and it's going to be like a little bit of a retrospective over the last 10 years, and it's going to include a lot of really large format pieces, but more on that coming later. Then we move on to February. Now in February, it was actually the submission date on Thursday, the 15th of February, that was due for the Startelt Riga Performance Art Festival, which, yay, I got accepted into, so that's good. Then we move on to March, and it looks like there's a few things that happened in March. So the Massa Studio application deadline was on Tuesday the 5th, and I made that and thankfully got in. Then on Wednesday, the 20th of May, I had a deadline for an open call at M Gallery. I never heard back from them. There was also 2 birthdays in March that I made work for, so I count that as a personal deadline that I met. Moving on to April, there was a deadline on Sunday the 14th at Dom Gallery in Riga. Again, I never heard back from them, I don't think. There was also a very short deadline for the Latvian Artists Society on Sunday the 21st. I did make it, but I never heard back from them. Oh, and I submitted some images to Art Magazine, which is a literal translation of Mākslas žurnāls. It's this weekly art magazine that comes out in Latvia only from the start of this year. They actually accepted my images and included it in their number for Movement, Kustība, which had an opening on the same day that my performance was happening in the museum on the 30th of May. And I'm currently waiting for that issue to be posted to me, so fingers crossed I receive it soon, as I can't wait to see it. That will be coming as an exclusive preview soon to my Patreon page. And then I also had a deadline for the Art of Compassion project, vegan cookbook illustration, and the deadline was extended actually for me even a little bit because I was very overworked for the whole month of May preparing for my performance piece at Zoom. So thankfully Lee from AOCP was very forthcoming, and I got to submit that piece recently enough, like in the middle of this month. But other than that, I also submitted a journal entry to Newa Collective, so I will let you know when that comes out, and I already have plans for the next journal submissions. Then I submitted once again to an open call by M Gallery in Riga titled Art Effakti, and it was like an outdoor only exhibition, and I submitted my piece that was the whole costume that I built used in the performance and museum, and they didn't accept it. And then I also had to send in a submission of available works to another curator, and thankfully I made that deadline. And then we come to June, and in June there was an extended deadline for the Cut Art Award with a fee of €10 to participate, and that was on Saturday the 15th of June. And I did make that submission, and then I believe on Monday or Tuesday the next week received a response that I didn't make it. And then on Sunday the 16th, I also sent in a submission for a small open call that I found on Instagram from Kultura Radio at Kim Contemporary Art Center. I still have not heard back from them if they're willing to have me on this summer. And other than that, exciting plans for this summer include starting planning what I'm going to show at the exhibition in 2026, which seems like a very long time away, but in reality, with the big pieces that I'm planning to complete, it'll take a while. I wanted to include also the things that I've managed to complete just in like the end of the month of June. So I edited and uploaded a new YouTube video finally. It's been like over a year of me unboxing some art and relics that have been recently shipped to me by my friend and artist Karis Wilson. Then I've made several Instagram posts, both on my personal and my professional profiles. I also completed 2 Patreon posts, and there's one more post that is already scheduled for a future date. Then part of this to-do list was to make this video as like a review. And then I have this idea of a stop motion animation that would be good to post on TikTok or Instagram Reels. So I might be working on that this month as well. And then I also uploaded a new artwork to the Newer Collective website, finally, and emailed Eamon about the art pieces that have to be marked as not available anymore. I also finally uploaded the amazing photos that my friend and photographer Daria Samuilova took of the performance piece at the Zoom. So that's all live on my website with several behind-the-scenes posts from the evening on my Patreon, which are exclusive and are only available to see on there. And then I've also been in contact with a few artists about collaboration plans and things to do with the Newer Collective. Now to reflect on the artworks that have thankfully been adopted in the last 6 months. So there's a landscape piece that I painted just outside of Jelgava city that has gone to a home. The golden eagle, the canary bird and fish, the brown bear, and the real Garfield have all been adopted as well, and the Mediterranean gull. Then I have 3 paintings on hold: Equestree from 2016, Arctic Skua, and Little Egret. And then I have 3 commissions to fulfill, like urgently this summer, because I've been postponing them for way too long. One is a piece of guinea pigs, which I believe you can actually see here. Then I have a Venice painting due, and this painting up here, which is of a stone building that is located just outside of Jelgava. And this is also a piece on the smaller side that I'm hoping to include in my show in 2026. Artworks also have to be uploaded to my Saatchi shopfront, as well as imprint and the Newer Collective website, as I said. So lots to do this summer. Wish me luck. This video was totally inspired by an artist who publishes weekly studio updates named Carl Frederick Emmerich. So thank you to him for the idea, and go check out his work. I believe that he's a good motivator to us fellow artists to stay productive, stay reflective, organized, and enable us to fulfill all our goals. So thank you, Carl, for the inspiration. Thank you for watching. I hope that this gave you some idea of what it's like to be an artist, and hopefully you're on your way to achieving all your plans and goals in your creative work as well. See you next time.